Hello, hello. Perfect. Burnt the bottom of my tongue, bro. This like hurts so badly. So ES is down. Hmm. So right now we're in very bearish order flow. I would just like to see the daily time frame. See what.
IMF official says revised South Korea's growth forecast for this year upward by 0.7 percentage points due to very impressive growth in AI hardware exports.
So on ES, we just tapped into this daily gap, which honestly, that's looking pretty good for longs. We have a daily fair value or bullish SMT, honestly. I would like to be bullish today, honestly. I would like to be bullish. 4 hours, yes. Are we bearish? Yes. But we did just take out significant draws of liquidity to the downside. Um I believe the opportunity today is to go long. That's what I see. Obviously I can want one thing and the market's going to give me something else. But if we're going to take longs, it's going to be on ES. We have a high time frame bullish SMT. If we're going to take shorts, it's going to be on NQ. But yeah, so far, this is what I'm seeing. We have all of these stacked highs right here.
IMF official says they see potential risk from correction in the AI space, which could affect also South Korea and other nations.
So that's what I see. I think yeah, I'm bullish. I am bullish. See what news we have. We do have FOMC meeting minutes, which shouldn't do that much to the market, but oh man. And we're chopping around. We did just break structure to the upside. We haven't done anything on ES yet. I'm gonna want to wait for confirmation today. Um, you are on the right account. I am bullish. That's what I
Seeing
see.
shares of crypto stocks fall, tracking more than 2% drop in Bitcoin prices. Seeing Coinbase global down 1.8% and strategy down 3%. Broadcom shares up 2.7% after agreement with Apple to produce billions of more chips.
I'm bullish. Honestly, I'm bullish. We'll see what happens. We would need a break on ES. Go long. We still have some time right now. It's only 9:36. At least 9 minutes before I'm willing to even take a trade. update.
Shares of US energy companies rising as crude oil prices jump after Trump said deal with Iran is over. And he made that comment at about 4:16 a.m. Eastern Time. The Chevron up 1.2%, Exxon up 0.5%, ConocoPhillips up 1.9%. US listed shares of Alibaba jumping 8.3%. Axios reports the Trump administration lifts restrictions on OpenAI's GPT 5.6. As a reminder, last night Axios reported at about 11:15 p.m. Eastern Time that Trump administration lifted limits on OpenAI's GPT 5.6. So it's being reposted here by some of the major news wires, but the Axios headline was out last night. It's the same thing. It's being reposted again by a major news wire. So just the Axios piece, it was an update to what they had put out last night. At the bottom of the article says it's been updated with a White House statement with new details after OpenAI confirmed GPT 5.6 will become available Thursday. And as I said, old news being reposted again, but just an update from the Axios piece with the White House statement. Also seeing the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index up 1.2%, falling 4.6% decline a day earlier. Seeing US chip stocks rise in early trade. Nvidia up 0.5%, Micron up 1%, AMD up 0.3%. Was also US listed shares of ARM down 1.3%, Qualcomm up 0.5%.
Perfect. Okay, so now we broke structure to the upside on both indexes. Now all we're waiting for is a pullback, which I'm hoping we get. Because that would make me feel great in order to try to go long. The only issue is that NQ is significantly higher than ES. So yeah, I would like us to come back down, sweep out some 1-minute lows. At least these lows right here, sweep this out, and then we can go ahead and long that bit. But until then, we're waiting. I would like to take it on ES, but it's just, I don't want NQ to take the draw and then we get nothing. So it's just waiting now. Please don't take out my draw. Please give me an entry.
As a 100% positive now, reversing the decline of 0.6%.
Let's see. Can we get a retracement? Can we get a retracement? That's the question of the day. Please. Let's get a retracement. See, I'm bullish, but the issue is this freaking Iran stuff is not really in our favor. Okay, there no longer is a right, so now we gotta wait equilibrium to be hit. Let us see, let us see, let us see. Let us see, let us see, let us see. Even better if we take out these 1-minute lows. Even better. Let's just hope. Ah,
At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we get the US wholesale inventories month-to-month revised forecast 0.3% unchanged from the prior. IMF official says inflation expectations have remained fairly well anchored on the global level. Some examples of drift up in inflation expectations.
uh. Okay. Would like to see how we close on this. $1935.5. Gotta see what happens off of this.
Five minutes ago, to get the wholesale sales inventories revised, forecasters were 3% unchanged from the prior. Let's get the US wholesale sales month-on-month forecasters were 8% prior, 2%.
Hmm. Okay. Gotta see how this closes. This is like very crucial. Okay. Need that confirmation. Need that confirmation.
1 minute ago now. Lead with the wholesale inventories month-to-month revised. Ten seconds.
Ah,
0.1%, 0.1% lower than the forecast of 0.3%. Wholesale sales month on month 3.4%, 3.4% higher than the forecast of 0.8%. We have posted out the US wholesale inventories May report on the feed for you to read through. Germany's Chancellor Merz says Germany will reach defense spending target of 5% long before agreed date.
hey, market, let's see what happens. Not looking good. Yeah, you're banned. Get out of my stream. Ban. See how it goes. I just don't like the relative equal lows that we have. This is not going to make me feel any better. Gotta stick with it though. Gotta stick with it. So we're in longs. We got our setup, 5-minute break of structure, 5-minute equilibrium, fair value gap, or not a fair value gap, 5-minute equilibrium, 1-minute break of structure on both indexes. A plus setup, if this doesn't hit, this doesn't hit, but this was my setup, and so because of that, I took it. Let's see what happens. I don't like the relative equal lows that we have, but see what happens. NQ is this close to these draws of liquidity to the upside.
French highest court says it could rule on Marine Le Pen's appeal early April 2027 at the latest before the presidential election. Timing could change based on procedural factors.
We can just have ES sweep out these highs. Stops would go to break even. But yeah, I really don't like these relative equal lows at all. With a high time frame bullish SMT, NQ has inversed the 1 hour gap. So, I mean, we're right there for London highs. Just hope that we actually hit it before we retrace again. There we go. What was that? That looks like news. So if NQ taps this, we're going to take a partial out. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's go. Do that. Honestly, we sweep all this out. Had to do that. See what happens. Let's see what happens off of this. It could completely reverse. You know what? Only one way to find out. So I'm gonna want to wait for $0. Yeah, we lost $4. I'm gonna want to wait for a little confirmation from NQ to re-enter. Because right now we have all these stacked lows. And honestly, I don't want to get caught up in the mess that we have right now. Like, look at all these lows.
France Mayor News says flight at airport in Hormozgan continue. Says the report on Hormozgan airport shutdown denied.
I want NQ to sweep out these lows. I gotta piss. Good thing we did that. It's a good thing we did that. Right, so we are still chopping around. So I'd like to see this gap no longer matters. Neither does this gap. I would like to see what we do if we do anything off of this. Um, so let's see. Let's see. Good thing we did that. Good thing we moved stops to break. It was smart trading by me. Very smart trading by me. Okay, so it looks like we will reverse off of this. Okay, this no longer matters. Let's see if we can get a retracement right now. We have a bearish SMT. All right, so now we're going to be looking for shorts, but in order to take that, we need to see if there's I'm very happy with the trade that we took, being stopped out at break even. That was probably a plus 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 plus. Um, I mean, yeah, really cannot complain about that trade. So right now we're waiting for a retracement. If not, and it becomes 10:30, 11 a.m., just won't trade. Oh, okay, wait. We did indeed get a retracement.
10 minutes ago now to get the EIA crude oil inventories data. Forecast for EIA crude oil inventories a draw of 1.9 million, private draw of 3.775 million. Also looking at a range of a build of 0.657 million to a draw of 4.328 million. Gasoline inventory is looking for a draw of 1.722 million, private a draw of 2.33 million. EI distillate inventory is looking for a build of 1.05 million, private a build of 2.483 million. Cushing inventory is private a build of 0.709 million. Just a reminder last night with the API data, API crude oil stock change came in at a draw of 0.399 million compared to the expected draw of 1.5 million.
Right, what do we got? What do we got? Uh, oh, now you want
Just
longs.
a heads up, Trump is speaking again with the Syrian president.
Is it on the feed? Can we see it? He's oof, that is looking good. I can't even lie, bruh.
So we do have the video. We'll pop out the video on the link on the feed shortly.
Put it on the feed. Man, we're about to go. We're about to long this bit. Really? All right, what do you got for me? Are you gonna break structure to the upside? I really just want a long. But let's be patient and wait for our setup. This is what we said we would be doing. And whoa, whoa, whoa. Is a crucial close. Still have that gap there. Gonna maintain the gap. What are we gonna do? You're gonna inverse the gap. All right. country, but I just don't.
5 minutes ago now to get the EIA crude oil inventories data. This will a draw of 1.9 million. Prior was a draw of 2.775 million. Gasoline inventories forecast is for a draw of 1.722 million. Prior was a draw of 2.333 million. Distillate inventories forecast for a build of 1.05 million. Prior was a build of 2.483 million. And Cushing inventories prior was a build of 0.709 million. Trump says Syria could help with Hezbollah. We'll find out.
Do you still want Syria to help with Hezbollah in Lebanon?
They could help. We'll find out. I think we're making a lot of progress.
Mr. President,
Could help.
Mr. President,
He would do a very good job.
Prime Minister Netanyahu has been critical of aspects of your relationship in the last couple of days with President Erdogan. He said that
Only Chancellor Merz says there is no final decision on an extension of the NATO pipeline system towards eastern flank of the alliance.
You think he hasn't been involved with Israel at all, and he's left it alone. I wouldn't say he's a friend because he's not a friend of, as you know, of Netanyahu, of Bibi. They don't get along, I think. But you know, for me, he's been great. Look, Turkey's been fantastic and a fantastic ally. They're also a NATO country. And Israel, we've done, no president's done as much for Israel as I have, nobody even close. If you look at, I mean, just look at all the things with Jerusalem, all the different things that we've done. The Golan
Trump
Heights,
says Netanyahu has been a great wartime prime minister.
Israel like me, and we made tremendous progress, and we've made a lot of progress with Iran too. Wiped out their military, but they should have been done 47 years ago.
And if I could, do you think that that Prime Minister Netanyahu should be reelected? There's an election coming in Israel, or would you like to see new
I
blood?
can tell you this: he's been a great wartime president. We worked at prime minister. So we worked with each other very closely, and we went through a very big thing. We did a big thing together, and in my opinion, he's been a great wartime prime minister. I don't know anything about his politics. I'm not sure. I would think he should be popular because he did a very good job. We had and have a very good relationship. But he was a great wartime prime minister.
President
If you had other prime ministers, you know what? They wouldn't be in Israel right now. You know that? They wouldn't be. It would have been blown to pieces by Iran. If you had a weak prime minister, you wouldn't have. And if you had a different president, I guarantee there wouldn't be. And Israel wouldn't exist today if you didn't have me as president.
You said
Data from the Energy Information Administration revealed that U.S. crude oil production set a new record in the month of April under your leadership. Why is it important to keep
Trump
hitting
says maybe we'll do
numbers
some
like this
things
at
that
this
could
moment in
increase oil
time? Why
price.
is it important that you were able to get this done and keep it on this trajectory?
Well, when we decided to do this, it's called the denuclearization of Iran. We have to do it. We have to have. They're never going to have a nuclear weapon.
Just keep an eye on oil prices anyway. Oil rising session high. Brent trading near $79.50 per barrel.
But when we did this, we thought oil would go much higher, and it didn't go very high. Now it's coming.
Voice
way
news
down.
disconnected.
Oil dropped very low. Now maybe we'll do some other things that could lift it a little bit, but I don't think it's going to lift it a lot at all. I think oil is coming down. There's tremendous amounts of oil. Scott, what would you say about that?
Yes, so record production under President Trump in his first term. Now in his second term, the U.S. is an energy superpower. It's why we weathered the conflict better than anyone else. And there just this weekend, Bloomberg wrote that there is an oil glut out there, and we think that safe, secure American oil maybe even should trade at a premium to the rest of the world.
So we have, if you add it up, you take Saudi Arabia and take Russia, two big oil producers, we do more than twice as much. We do more than, so think of it, Saudi Arabia, Russia put together, we do more oil, and that's not including Venezuela. It's pretty amazing. And this all happened during my term. We started it at first term. Biden blew it because he had no idea what he was doing. But we are producing more oil right now than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined by almost double. Okay, any other questions? Yes. Yes, ma'am.
You've said that dealing with the Iranians is a waste of time. How do you plan to get the nuclear material and the nuclear assurances that you want? want.
Well, we've already got the nuclear material because it's so far underground, nobody's gonna be able to get it except us, because we have the equipment that can get it. But I call it the nuclear dust, the nuclear material is so far down underneath the mountain, and now that's been determined, that it would take massive machinery that we have that no other country has.
Mr.
They can't
President,
get
so
it.
you have no plans to go in, boots on the ground?
Why would I go in now? I'd go in when they're completely either eliminated or whatever, or an agreement's made.
Mr. President,
Yes.
if you cut off trade with Spain, does that mean that you're going to have to renegotiate a trade agreement with the EU?
With who?
With the EU, any past trade agreements you already have?
We're gonna see what happens with the EU. You know, they've treated us very badly for years, and they took advantages. Look, we're very close to those countries, right? And to everybody in the EU. The problem is they took advantage of the United States for years. It's like him. They took advantage of Syria. He's bringing it back, and I'm bringing the United States back. We have the greatest economy we've ever had. We have the biggest investment. 19.2 trillion is being invested right now in the United States. 3 trillion was the record. Under Biden and under the past administration, they had less than $1 trillion for 4 years. We have 19.2 trillion in 12 months. Think of that. We have the largest amount of money being invested in a country in history. Pretty amazing. 19.2 trillion with a T. So, and they're building factories all over the country. I think yesterday Toyota announced they're leaving Mexico. And they're coming, I'm not that Mexico's thrilled about it, but they're leaving Mexico and they're coming to the United States to build what will be, I believe, the largest automobile plant, either in the world or at least in this country.
Mr. President, on oil
Daniel.
prices,
Quick domestic question. You announced on Truth Social a couple days ago that Walmart was cutting the price for ground beef by 15%. How big of a deal is that for American customers this summer?
So Walmart has agreed to cut their prices very substantially because things are going down. We're getting it down. We inherited very high prices. We inherited the highest prices in the history of our country, or 48 years to be exact. But I don't believe that. I think it's in history. So under Biden, they had tremendous inflation. Under the Democrats, we had tremendous inflation, record-setting inflation. And now inflation is way down. Everything is great. We have the prices are coming down, but we inherited. You know, they talk about they use different words to describe it. They had very high prices. The prices are coming down. And when the oil comes, you know, the oil is coming way down. The oil dropped by 50% in the last month. And when that comes down, it brings everything else down. No, it's affordability. And they came up with the word affordability. You know, like I take over, I'm there for one day, and they say affordability. Affordability. I said I've been here for, remember with the eggs, the first day or 2 days later, I have my first news, and they talked about eggs. They said the eggs have gone up 5 times. I've been in office for one day. And I said, well, we'll have to do something. In fact, they told me not to order eggs for the Easter egg hunt at the White House. I should use plastic. I said, we're not doing that. And by the time we came, it was a couple of months later, that happened, and we ordered thousands of eggs. And right now, eggs are way down. The prices are way down, and they're coming down further. So they made up a phony word that they used. They said affordability. They're the ones that caused the affordability prices. I didn't. But I brought it down. And the oil is coming down very big.
Mr. President, Brent crude is up slightly today on the
A little bit,
announcement
yeah,
that
because we hit them. Anytime we hit them, it goes up a little bit, $2.
is that what you mean? Is that what you meant when you said that we might see oil prices lift a little in
A
response
little bit,
to?
yeah, $2, very little. It's down from, let's say, $135 down to $69. It's dropping, and everything else drops. As oil goes, so goes everything else. But anytime if we hit Iran, oil goes up a little bit. It's all right.
Mr. President, do you think
You know,
Israel?
we're de-nuking it. We're de-nuking Iran. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon. All right, one more question.
Sir, do you think Israel should withdraw troops from southern Lebanon?
Well, I talked to people about that. Yeah, I think they're going to. I think they want to. I don't think it's a question of me. I think it's a question they want to. And they're getting along with Lebanon. They're signing deals with Lebanon. First time ever. Marco, talk about that if you'd like.
Yeah, we have an agreement that, and it calls, that's the goal at the end. Obviously, Israel's concerned about their security. But the president did a great job bringing those two countries together for the first time.
It's a big thing. First time in many years, right?
Step.
So we have a deal with Israel and Lebanon, and yeah, they'll leave, and I think it's going to work out very well. But we're here for this because Syria has turned around as fast as I've ever seen. Well, actually, I turned the United States around very fast too. I inherited from a man who was not smart, not a smart person. We inherited from the man where they were running this country so badly with the open borders. There are 25 million people allowed into our country, and that includes 11,888 murderers, most of whom murdered more than one person. Okay, we got most of them out, or we have them in jail, and we've done a great job. Washington D.C. now is considered one of the safest cities in the country. If he came to Washington D.C. a year and a half ago, he'd fear for his life, even though he never feared for his life before, because it was very dangerous. But somehow his territory might have even been a little more dangerous. I joke because, you know, he comes from a rough environment. Would you say that's right, Tom Barrett? It's sort of funny to think. I don't think he'd be too concerned with Washington a year and a half. But we had a very, very unsafe Washington, D.C., and now it's one of the safest cities in the country. We put the military in. We brought Washington went from being an unsafe to one of the safest cities, and crime is down 94%. We don't play games. We removed over 5,000 career criminals, many of whom came in through the open borders of Joe Biden. We did the same thing with Memphis, Tennessee. We did the same thing with in Louisiana. You have to speak to the governor. Because New Orleans, the crime rate is down 78%, in a little while, and they had the best Mardi Gras they've ever had. So we're doing a good job, and he's done a great job too. And I thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Russ. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys. You can head over here.
Bro, are you f***ing kidding me? Alright, let's see what happens. Gotta push past these lows. Come on. Let's go, you. Come on, you. Let's go.
US exports of petroleum products in the latest week rose to a record high, according to the EIA.
Come on. You're right there. Let's go. The downside again. The downside. I mean, I would have wished to be in ES trade, but come on. Going lower. Keep going lower. There you go. Perfect. See what happens. This is the last trade. If not, we are simply going to lock out. What happens? Happened to the gap. Ah, this is like the last stab at it. Stopped at break even there. Out of time. Oh, that sucks. We get anything? Here we go. Ah, that just burns, bruh. Absolutely just burns. We have to sit here and watch this. Like, there's not a real entry. That's the problem. There wasn't a real entry to take. And we really about to watch this hit. Full take profit on our head tops. Ah, burns, burns, burns. Sad, man. Makes me sad. Well, I might as well lock out anyways, so that we don't take a trade. Really about to just watch this run to full TP. Ah, that just burns. sadness. Hey, I wouldn't have traded any differently today. We followed our strategy to a T. We stopped the record.